Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and installing the Blue Ox base plate kit for 2024 Ford F-150. So before you can flat tow, there's going to be 5 main components that you're going to need. You're going to need some form of a base plate kit. You're going to need a tow bar. You're going to need safety cables. You're going to need tow bar wiring, which will run a signal from your RV to the back of your towed vehicle to give you your brake lights and your signals and your tail lights in the rear of it. And you're also going to need some form of a braking system. And another thing I do recommend is a charge line kit. What that's going to do for you is when you get to your location, you're not going to have a dead battery on your towed vehicle, and it's just going to basically charge from your RV through a line, through your umbilical, into your truck, and then up to your battery. That way you have a trickle charge on your battery, so when you get your destination, you have your battery charged. One of the things I like about our Blue Ox base plate is the way it blends in with our vehicle. It kind of tucks in behind our bumper, and the only part that really sticks out is this tab that we have for our safety cables. Other than that, as far as installing this one, what's really nice about it too is it's going to go in your pre-existing hook pockets here, or your recovery pockets. All you're going to be doing is removing your hooks, and it's going to take the place of that. So you're not going to be doing a whole lot of trimming or anything like that to get these to fit on your F-150. Another nice thing about these as well is this piece of it, which is where your tow bars will mount up, is removable, and all you have to do is just pop that in, give that a quarter turn, and it pops into place, and you're ready to hook up your tow bar so you can be set to flat tow. Just to remove that and get that out of the way when you're done, just give that a turn, pop it out, and it's out of the way. So if you have any questions or comments about this Blue Ox base plate for your Ford F-150, feel free to give us a call, or you can leave a comment down below and we'd be glad to help you out with it. Other than that, installation for this one is pretty straightforward. You will have to take your bumper off, but it's really not too bad to do. If it's something you don't have time to do yourself, you can take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. If it's something you feel like tackling yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to need to remove our front bumper. So what we need to do is give us a little more room underneath. We're going to have this little plate that runs underneath of our intercooler, and that's going to be 2 15mm bolts. We're just going to back those off and get that out of the way. Now when we pull this off, just pull it down and carefully remove it out of the grommets. Now the hoses and lines should hold up our intercooler. On the back side of our bumper, on each side, we're going to have 3 nuts that we need to remove. Up here by our intercooler, we're going to have one there, and then we're going to have 2 on the outer side. Those are going to be 21mm, and I'm just going to use my 21mm socket, a swivel, a long extension, and get those broke loose. Now what I did is I left a couple nuts loosely threaded on just to make sure my bumper don't fall off. I did take them off by hand, and now we're just going to pull back on our bumper, and behind there we're going to have a couple electrical connections, and I do have an extra set of hands helping me out. For this large connector, you want to push down on the clip and then rock this plastic keeper forward. With that forward, now you can unplug your connection. Now I will recommend before you start pulling off your bumper, you'll have this actuator on the side, and that's for your louvers. Go ahead and get that unplugged first and then pull that up over your frame. And then once you get that, you can pull your bumper back a little bit, and like the one connector I showed you, get that one, how we did that. And then you're going to have one more over on this other side, and you'll have to get this one undone as well, and then your bumper will come right off. Now we have that out of the way, now we'll just pull off these rubber boots on both sides. Now with the 15mm socket on both sides, we'll go ahead and remove our hooks and get those out of the way. Now inside of our frame, we'll have a little plate. We'll get that out of the way as well. Now we can go ahead and get our base plate put in place. I just wanted to go over the hardware real quick. What we're going to have is we're going to have our long bolt, we're going to have a split washer and a flat washer, and all of our hardware that we put on, we're going to have red Loctite on. So now, for our front hole, just want to get our base plate lined up. Take one of our bolts, run that through the pocket. Line that up with our first hole. Now we can install our nylock nut. That's going to hold our base plate in place so we can get the rest of our hardware installed. Now for the hardware on the rear hole, we're going to be using this stick nut, and we're going to have the same hardware we used on the front with Loctite. With this one, we're just going to hold it back to the hole. Get that lined up, and then I like to spin it with my fingers to get that started. Now we'll just come back through and snug down our hardware. Now when we do that, we want to make sure our base plate is pushed over to the side of the frame. With that, I like to hold it over in place. You want that to be sitting right up next to the side of your frame. With those snugged up, now on the side of our frame, we're going to have these two holes. What we're going to do is we're going to use our base plate as a template, and we're just going to drill out both of these holes. I'm going to come through and run a pilot hole through the center, and then I'll come back with a 1/2-inch drill bit and open that hole up a little bit more. Now for the front hole, we're just going to be using our bolt with just a lock washer or split washer. Again, we'll have red Loctite on that. That one we'll go ahead and get threaded on. And for our rear one, we'll be using our long bolt with our split washer, and we'll be following that up with our handle nut. Now we'll come back through and snug down our hardware. With all of our hardware snugged down, we'll come back through with our torque wrench and torque down our hardware to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. Now, if you don't have a torque wrench, you can pick one up here at eTrailer. We do have a few options for those, or you can take a look at your local auto parts store and you should be able to rent one there. Now for the wires that are coming off of our handle nuts, there's a couple things you can do. You can either cut it off up in here if you want, or if you just put a bend in it and just bend it back and forth, after you do that for a while, that weld will break loose off of that wire, and those will snap right off. Now we want to get our cables installed, and all we want to do is get it run up through the side of the frame from the inside. Grab our cable, pull that through. We're going to be going back and behind this portion of frame that sticks out. Now we can take our quick link, run that through our cable. Run our cables through. Now back here on our base plate, there's going to be a hole that we can run our quick link through. Now we can tighten that down. Now you can install any of your other flat toe components and get your bumper put back in place. And that was a look at our Blue Ox base plate kit for 2024 Ford F-150.